On a bright and colorful planet called Zenthera, there stood a grand academy for aliens. This academy was filled with strange and wonderful creatures from all over the galaxy. Brightly colored buildings reached for the sky, and the air was alive with laughter and chatter. However, among all the excitement, there was one student who felt very alone. His name was Alex. Alex was the only human in the academy. Every day he walked the halls trying to fit in with the aliens around him. Some of the aliens had long, flowing tentacles, while others had shining scales or fluffy fur. They all seemed to know each other, laughing and playing games that Alex could never quite understand. He often sat alone in the cafeteria, picking at his food while others shared stories and fun experiences. Despite the beauty of the planet, Alex felt like a shadow, always on the outside looking in. One sunny day, the academy organized a special field trip for the students. They were excited to explore a mysterious part of the academy that was off limits. The teachers warned them to stay together, but Alex felt a strange pull to wander away from the group. As the other students laughed and ran ahead, Alex took a deep breath and decided to explore the hidden corners of the academy on his own. He wandered through dark hallways, feeling both excited and nervous. The walls were covered with strange symbols and glowing lights that flickered like stars. Alex could hear the distant sounds of his classmates, but he was determined to see what lay ahead. As he turned a corner, he stumbled upon a heavy door made of metal. It looked ancient, with strange markings all over it. Curious, Alex pushed against it, and to his surprise, the door creaked open. Inside was a dimly lit chamber filled with strange machines and glowing screens. In the center of the room stood a tall, shimmering pod. It looked like something out of a science fiction movie. Alex's heart raced as he approached it. Suddenly, the pod lit up, and a soft voice echoed in the chamber. "Help me." Alex jumped back, startled. The voice was faint but filled with desperation. He looked closely at the pod and saw a figure inside. It was a beautiful alien princess with vibrant blue skin and long flowing hair that seemed to sparkle like stars. She looked peaceful, yet trapped, as if she was asleep and could not wake up. "Who are you?" Alex whispered, feeling a mix of fear and compassion. "I am Princess Lyra," she said weakly. "I have been captured by the rebels. Please, you must help me." Alex's mind raced. He knew he should get back to his classmates, but the thought of leaving the princess alone filled him with dread. He remembered the stories of heroes who saved those in need, and he felt a surge of courage within him. "Okay, I will help you," Alex said, determination in his voice. He quickly examined the pod, searching for a way to free her. There were buttons and switches everywhere, but he had no idea what they did. Taking a deep breath, he pushed a large, glowing button in the center. With a loud hiss, the pod opened. Alex stepped back as a rush of air escaped from it, and Princess Lyra slowly opened her eyes. She looked at Alex with surprise and gratitude. "You came for me!" she exclaimed, her voice filled with hope. Before Alex could respond, the sound of heavy footsteps echoed through the chamber. The guards were coming. Alex's heart raced as he realized they had to leave quickly. "Follow me," he shouted, grabbing Lyra's hand. Together, they dashed through the doorway just as the guards burst into the room. Alex felt a thrill of adrenaline as they ran, dodging past alien machines and out into the bright hallways of the academy. With the guards hot on their trail, Alex and Lyra sprinted through the academy, their hearts pounding in unison. In that moment, Alex knew he had made the right choice. He was no longer alone. He had a mission and a friend, and he was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Alex and Princess Lyra dashed through the bright hallways of the academy, their hearts pounding in their chests. The sounds of heavy footsteps echoed behind them, growing louder with every second. The guards were close, and they had to escape quickly. "Where do we go?" Alex asked, glancing at Lyra. Her eyes were wide with fear, but there was also determination shining within them. "Follow me!" she shouted, leading the way down a narrow corridor. They turned a sharp corner, and Alex felt a rush of adrenaline. The walls seemed to blur around him as they sprinted forward. They ran through a maze of hallways, each more colorful than the last. Strange murals painted by the students decorated the walls, telling stories of bravery and friendship. But Alex had no time to admire them. He focused on keeping up with Lyra, who moved gracefully despite the chaos. Suddenly, they reached a large open space filled with tall plants and strange glowing orbs floating in the air. It was a garden unlike anything Alex had ever seen. "We can hide here," he suggested, and they ducked behind a thick bush, breathing heavily. "Do you think they saw us?" Lyra whispered, her voice shaky. "I don't know," Alex replied, peeking through the leaves. He could see a group of guards enter the garden, looking around with their eyes narrowed. The guards were tall and intimidating, with sharp features and strange uniforms that seemed to shimmer in the light. Alex's heart raced as they searched the area, their movements quick and focused. "We need a plan," Lyra said, her voice low. "If we just hide here, they will find us." Alex thought for a moment. "What if we create a distraction? Maybe we can lead them away from here." Lyra nodded, her face lighting up with an idea. "I can use my powers to create illusions. It might confuse them long enough for us to escape." "Great idea," Alex replied, feeling a surge of hope. "Let's do it!" With determination, Lyra closed her eyes and focused. Alex watched in awe as the air around them began to shimmer. Suddenly, images of strange creatures and bright lights appeared in the garden, dancing and moving around as if they were real. The guards turned in surprise, their eyes widening at the sight. "What is that?" one of them shouted, pointing at the illusions. Confusion spread among the guards as they rushed toward the illusions, trying to catch the non-existent creatures. "Now's our chance!" Alex exclaimed. He grabbed Lyra's hand, and they slipped out from behind the bush, moving quickly and quietly through the garden. They dashed toward a doorway on the other side, their hearts pounding with both fear and excitement. As they reached the door, Alex glanced back. The guards were completely distracted by the illusions, giving them the perfect opportunity to escape. He pushed open the door and pulled Lyra inside just as it swung shut behind them. The room they entered was dark and filled with strange machinery. It looked like a control room with buttons and screens everywhere. Alex's eyes widened as he took in the sight. "What is this place?" he wondered aloud. "This is the old command center," Lyra explained, her voice filled with awe. "It used to be used for communications and planning missions." "Can we use it to contact someone for help?" Alex asked, hoping there was a way to reach out to others. Lyra nodded, moving to one of the glowing screens. "Let me see what I can do." She began pressing buttons, her fingers flying across the control panel. The screens lit up, displaying maps and information about the academy. Just then, they heard the guards outside, their voices growing closer. "They must have gone in there!" one of them shouted. Panic surged through Alex. "We don't have much time," he said, glancing at Lyra. "What can we do?" "I can send a distress signal," she replied, her eyes focused on the screen. "But it might take a few moments to go through." "Do it!" Alex urged, his heart racing. "I'll keep watch." As Lyra worked on the controls, Alex moved to the door, listening intently for the sound of footsteps. His mind raced with thoughts of what would happen if they were caught. He felt a mix of fear and determination, knowing that he was fighting not just for himself, but for Lyra and her freedom. Finally, Lyra's voice broke through his thoughts. "It's done! The signal is sent! Great! Now let's get out of here," Alex replied, feeling a wave of relief wash over him. They moved cautiously toward the exit, ready to face whatever challenges awaited them. Together, they were no longer alone in this fight. They were a team, and they would do whatever it took to escape the academy and protect Princess Lyra. After sending the distress signal, Alex and Princess Lyra stepped out of the dark control room, feeling a mix of fear and hope. They had escaped the guards for now, but they knew they needed help to defeat the rebels who wanted to capture Lyra again. They had to find allies, and time was running out. "Where do we go now?" Alex asked, glancing at Lyra. Her blue skin shimmered in the light, and her long hair flowed gracefully as she moved. "We need to find the Outcast Village," Lyra replied, her eyes shining with determination. "It's a hidden place where those who don't fit in at the academy gather. They might be willing to help us." "Let's go then," Alex said, his heart racing with excitement. He knew they had to take risks, but the thought of finding new friends gave him courage. They hurried through the academy's winding corridors, avoiding the main paths where they might be seen. Lyra led the way, her intuition guiding them toward a secret exit. They finally reached a small door hidden behind a tapestry of bright colors. With a quick push, they slipped outside and fresh air filled their lungs. The sky above was a brilliant shade of purple, and strange creatures flew past them, chirping and singing. It was beautiful, but they had no time to admire the scenery. "Follow me!" Lyra said, and they raced into the nearby forest where tall trees towered above them, their leaves glowing in different colors. The deeper they went, the more vibrant and alive the forest felt. Alex felt a sense of adventure wash over him. As they ran, Lyra explained the Outcast Village. It's a place where many unique beings live. Some were once students at the academy, like me. Others come from distant planets. They understand what it's like to be different. Alex nodded, feeling excited. I can't wait to meet them! Maybe they'll have a plan to help us. After a few minutes of running, they emerged into a clearing. In front of them lay a hidden village, with homes made of trees and bright flowers. The air was filled with laughter, and the smell of delicious food wafted toward them. It was warm and welcoming, a stark contrast to the coldness of the academy. Lyra smiled, her eyes sparkling. We made it! As they entered the village, curious faces turned toward them. Some were small and furry, while others had scales or shimmering skin. They all looked different, but Alex felt a sense of belonging. These were beings who understood his struggles and Lyra's pain. A tall creature with bright green skin stepped forward. Who are you? It asked, its voice deep yet kind. I am Princess Lyra, and this is my friend Alex, she said confidently. We need your help. The rebels have taken control of my kingdom, and we want to stop them. The crowd murmured, exchanging glances. Alex felt a surge of fear. Would they help them or turn them away? Why should we help you? A smaller alien with bright purple fur asked. The academy has never been kind to us. Lyra stepped closer, her voice filled with emotion. I understand your pain. I was captured and brought there against my will. I want to change things, to bring peace between us and the academy. After a moment of silence, the green creature nodded. If you truly want to help us, we will help you. But we need to be sure you are not like the others. Alex felt a spark of hope. We can prove ourselves. Just give us a chance. The crowd began to talk among themselves, and then the tall creature raised its hand for silence. Very well. You will join us in our training. If you show strength and bravery, we will fight with you. Lyra smiled brightly, and Alex felt a rush of excitement. Thank you, she said. We will do our best. The villagers led them to a large open area filled with training equipment. Alex watched in awe as the villagers demonstrated their skills. Some used simple weapons, while others displayed incredible agility and strength. He realized that they had much to learn. Over the next few days, Alex and Lyra trained with the villagers. They practiced running, climbing, and using different tools. Alex found himself growing stronger and more confident. He had never felt this alive before. During their training, they bonded with the villagers, sharing stories and laughter. Alex learned that the villagers had their own struggles, but were united in their desire for freedom. They all wanted a chance to show the academy that they were more than just outcasts. One evening, as they gathered around a fire, Lyra looked at Alex with gratitude. I couldn't have done this without you. You've shown me that friendship knows no boundaries. Alex smiled back, feeling a warmth in his heart. Together, they were building a team, and he knew they were ready to face whatever came next. They would fight for their freedom, and they would do it together. The day of the battle had finally arrived. Alex stood on a grassy hill overlooking the academy, his heart pounding in his chest. The sun shone brightly, but it felt like a storm was brewing inside him. He was filled with excitement and fear as he looked back at the villagers who had become his friends. They stood ready, their faces set with determination. Princess Lyra stood beside him, her blue skin glowing under the sun. She was dressed in a fitted suit that allowed for easy movement. We can do this, she said, her voice steady. Together, we are stronger than they think. Alex nodded, feeling encouraged by her words. We've trained hard and we know what's at stake. We fight for your freedom and our friends. As they made their way down the hill, Alex could hear the sounds of preparation. The villagers had gathered weapons, and some were painting their faces with bright colors, a sign of unity and strength. The air buzzed with energy, and Alex felt the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. He was no longer just a student. He was a warrior. They reached the edge of the academy's grounds, where the guards stood in formation, waiting for them. The guards looked stern, their eyes fixed on the group of villagers and allies that had come to help. The tension was thick, and Alex could feel it in the air. Stay focused! Lyra called to the group, her voice carrying over the noise. We fight together. We will show them our strength. With that, the battle began. Alex ran forward with Lyra at his side, the villagers charging behind them. The guards shouted orders, but the villagers moved as one, dodging and weaving through the enemy lines. Alex felt a surge of adrenaline as he sprinted ahead, determined to make a difference. As they clashed with the guards, Alex realized the villagers had unique abilities. Some of them could move quickly and quietly, while others had incredible strength. One villager with bright orange scales lifted a guard and threw him aside with ease. Alex watched in awe as they fought, realizing that each ally brought something special to the battle. Lyra focused her powers, using her energy to create barriers that protected her friends from incoming blasts. She was like a beacon of light on the battlefield, inspiring those around her. "Keep pushing forward!" she shouted, rallying her friends. As Alex engaged with a guard, he felt a mix of fear and exhilaration. He dodged a strike and countered with a quick jab, remembering the training he had undergone. The guard stumbled back, surprised by his skill. Encouraged, Alex pressed forward, his confidence growing with each successful move. Suddenly, a loud explosion shook the ground, and Alex turned to see a massive explosion of color and light. A group of rebels had launched a surprise attack from the side, catching the guards off guard. "They're here!" Lyra yelled, excitement in her voice. "We can win this!" With renewed energy, the villagers joined forces with the rebels, creating a powerful alliance against the guards. The battle raged on, and Alex felt a sense of unity with everyone around him. They were fighting for freedom, for a future where they could be themselves without fear. As the battle continued, Alex spotted a group of guards surrounding Lyra. His heart raced as he rushed toward her. "Lyra!" he shouted, fear gripping him. He couldn't let anything happen to her. "Alex!" she cried, her voice strained. She was using her powers to defend herself, but she was outnumbered. He reached her just in time, throwing himself into the fray. Together, they fought side by side, moving in sync as they took down the guards around them. "Keep going," Alex urged, determination in his voice. "We can do this!" Lyra nodded, her eyes fierce. "For freedom!" The tide of the battle began to turn in their favor. The guards were pushed back, their formation breaking as they struggled to regain control. With each passing moment, Alex felt a growing sense of hope. Finally, with a final push, the guards began to retreat. The villagers cheered, their voices echoing in the air. "We did it!" one villager shouted, throwing their arms into the air. As the dust settled, Alex and Lyra stood amidst the cheering crowd. They had fought together, faced their fears, and emerged victorious. The academy, once a place of fear and confinement, was now a symbol of hope. Lyra turned to Alex, her eyes shining with gratitude. "We made it thanks to you and our friends." Alex smiled, feeling a warmth in his heart. They had turned their struggle into strength, and together, they had found a way to fight for their future. The battle may have ended, but their journey was just beginning. Together they would build a new world, one filled with hope and friendship. The sun rose slowly over the academy, casting a warm golden light on the battlefield. The air was filled with the sounds of celebration as the villagers and their allies gathered to reflect on their victory. Alex stood beside Princess Lyra, watching as their friends embraced and cheered. It had been a hard fight, but they had won, and now a new chapter was beginning. "Look at them," Lyra said, her voice filled with joy. "They're free at last!" Her blue skin shimmered in the sunlight, and her long hair flowed gently in the breeze. Alex could see the happiness in her eyes, a light that had been dimmed during her time at the academy. Alex smiled, feeling a deep sense of pride. "We did it together. I couldn't have done this without you and everyone else." He looked around at the villagers, who were no longer outcasts, but heroes. They had fought for their freedom and won, and it felt amazing to be a part of it. As the celebration continued, the villagers began to plan for their future. Lyra stood up to address the crowd, her voice strong and confident. "We are no longer prisoners of the academy. Together, we will create a new society where everyone is welcome, no matter their background." The crowd erupted in cheers, their voices rising like a wave. Alex felt his heart swell with hope. He knew that the journey ahead would not be easy, but together they could build something special. After the celebration, Lyra and Alex walked through the academy grounds, which now felt different. The once foreboding walls were now filled with colors and laughter. They passed by former guards who were no longer enemies but had agreed to lay down their weapons. Some even helped with the rebuilding process, realizing that they were stronger together. "Look at how far we've come," Lyra said, her eyes shining. "Just a few days ago I was a prisoner, and now I am free. It's all thanks to you, Alex. Alex felt a warmth spread through him. I just did what anyone would do. You inspired me to be brave. They paused to watch a group of villagers planting flowers in the courtyard, their laughter ringing in the air. It was a new beginning, and Alex could feel the excitement of what lay ahead. The next few weeks were filled with hard work and planning. The villagers met to discuss how they could create a new community. They decided to build schools, gardens, and places for everyone to gather. They wanted to ensure that no one felt like an outcast ever again. Lyra took on the role of a leader, guiding everyone with compassion and strength. She spoke to the villagers about unity and friendship, reminding them that their differences were what made them strong. Alex helped by sharing his knowledge of the human world, showing them how they could incorporate their ideas into the new society. One day, while they were working together, Alex noticed a small child sitting alone, looking sad. He walked over and knelt beside her. "What's wrong?" he asked gently. "I miss my home," she said, her voice soft. "I used to play in the fields with my friends, but now everything is different." Alex smiled, feeling a connection with her. "I know it's hard, but we can make a new home here. Together we can create a place where you can play and laugh again." The child looked up, her eyes brightening. "Really?" "Of course," Alex said, feeling hopeful. "Let's work together to make this place beautiful. We can plant flowers and build playgrounds. It will be fun." With renewed energy, the child joined Alex and Lyra. They spent the day planting flowers and designing a new playground for the village. Laughter filled the air, and soon other villagers joined in, eager to help. They were creating a home, a place filled with joy and friendship. As the weeks passed, the village transformed into a vibrant community. They celebrated their differences and worked together to build a better future. Alex felt proud to be a part of it all. He had come to this alien world as a lonely student, but now he was surrounded by friends and family. One evening, as they gathered under the stars, Lyra looked at Alex with a smile. "Thank you for believing in me and our friends. We've created something beautiful together." Alex nodded, feeling grateful. "This is just the beginning. We'll face challenges, but we can overcome anything as long as we stand together." The stars twinkled brightly above them, a symbol of hope and endless possibilities. Together, they had forged a new path, one filled with promise and adventure. Alex knew that their journey was far from over, but with Lyra and their friends by his side, he felt ready to face whatever the future held. They had turned a story of abandonment into one of rescue and unity, and in this new world anything was possible.